What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button for me, please. I'm trying something new out today with this microphone, right? And so I want you all to tell me how you like it. If it sounds distorted to you all, I can change it or I can get a new microphone. I'm gonna do whatever it takes for you all to have the best audio experience listening to my content, right? And I got the microphone because I know that when I go live, specifically, the audio gets a little distorted and sounding a little crazy. And I want to make sure that you all can still hear me crystal clear whenever I'm live streaming as well. So I got the microphone for that purpose, right? And so, first of all, welcome to all my subscribers, the new subscribers specifically. I know it's a lot of you all who are new to my content and don't know much about me. And so you will know more about me as you all continue to follow the channel or subscribe to the channel and continue to follow my journey in content creation. For all the people who have been subscribed, I appreciate you all for getting my channel out, getting the news of my channel out by word of mouth or just sharing my videos, etc. So I wanted to make this video to because some of you all have seen that my content as of lately has been more serious, right? I've been talking about serious issues within the Black community, specifically nocturnal animals within our community selling us out, talking about bug dancers and all of that, right? And you see me display a level of passion that can sometimes come off as angry and anger. And I wanted to let everybody know I'm just not angry 24/7. I'm a fun-loving individual. What Kawhi Leonard say? I'm a fun guy. So I'm like, you know what, man? We're going to do something a little more lighthearted on the channel this morning. I wanted to talk about the best day of my life, right? And first of all, it would be a cheat code for me to talk about the day that my two children were born, right? The days that they both were born. For those who don't know, I have a 14-year-old daughter and I have a 4-year-old son who will be 5 pretty soon. So, yeah, but that's a cheat code to talk about the days my children were born. Specifically, I want to talk about the day that I graduated with my master's degree from Arkansas State University, right? You all hear me mention that I have a master's degree on this channel often. And it's not to boast or to brag. I'm using it for like specific talking points when we're talking about individuals telling Black folks we need to get more educated and educate ourselves. And I talk about people around me having PhDs and master's degrees and so on and so forth, right? But I wanted to talk about the day I graduated and how I got to grad school in the first place. So, as you all know, I'm from the south side of Chicago, Illinois, born and raised here. Went to Morgan Park High School. First of all, I went to Tonnage Language Academy on 93rd and Princeton, in the middle of Princeton Park, you know, in the middle of Loden Homes, where Juwan Howard and Tony Allen are both from. I went to a school in the middle of there, in 93rd and Princeton, right by 95th and the Dan Ryan, like I said before. And then I went to Morgan Park High School. After Morgan Park High School, I earned a full academic scholarship to Mississippi Valley State University, a HBCU located in the Mississippi Delta, right? Graduated from there in 2015. Graduated with what, summa cum laude, right? And so, first of all, when graduation time was getting close, when I was about to graduate from Mississippi Valley State University, I had no intentions on going to grad school, right? My last year, I'm like, yo, I'm going to, finish out strong and I'm going to go straight to working. I'm going to go find me a job. I'm going to go, hopefully I can land me a gig closely related to my communications degree, right? Because I got a degree in mass communication, which is public relation, journalism, broadcasting, etc. All my life, I've been able to write very well, even and communicate my thoughts very well, even when I wasn't a talkative person. Because believe it or not, in high school, I was not a very talkative individual to people that I did. I talked a lot, but not to just in my inner circle. I was not a person who was just volunteering for a whole lot of things and just lending my voice to host things or nothing like that, right? I started to become more vocal when I got to college and I was a major in communication. You got to talk. And I had an emphasis in broadcasting. So I had a radio show, a TV show, etc. Right. And so when I was in school, I'm like, yo, when I was about to graduate, I'm thinking I can get me a job somewhere in, journalism, somewhere in something communications related, not just on TV or radio. I hoped I would get a a TV job or something, but that is like a long shot, especially in a big market like Chicago. People don't get jobs in Chicago in media immediately. They have to work their way up from small networks in other towns, in smaller towns, etc. But I was just like, yo, I'm just ready to get my degree. I'm ready to get my degree so I can find me a job. Time is starting to dwindle down at Mississippi Valley State, and my department chair, Dr. Samuel Osunday, he's the department chair of the mass communication department. He's not the department chair anymore, I don't think, but he was. And so Dr. Osunday say, Malcolm, what you got planned when you get out of here? What are you doing when you finish? This is probably about, man, I want to say 2 months before I'm about to graduate, 3 months before I'm about to graduate. And I'm like, I've been applying for jobs because I was applying for jobs in my dorm room while I was, doing my classes, doing papers and all that type of stuff, writing papers. I'm applying for jobs in Chicago. And he tells me, you applying for jobs? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing, Doc. And he like, Malcolm, you have great grades. You're a great student. I think you should go to grad school. He says, when you have a master's degree, first of all, it'll buy you time. So, you can get another degree under your belt so that you can be more experienced for employers, and they'll have to pay you a certain amount of money when you have that other qualification under your belt, when you have a master's degree, right? I think you should go to school, get you another degree. I think you can do the work. You're a great student here. And I think you should just get you another degree and just have something else to fall back on. Because he said it's very hard for you all to get jobs coming out of college. Like for young kids, it's hard for y'all to get y'all jobs and stuff. And I said, okay. I said, well, Doc, though, I missed the enrollment period. A lot of the grad schools, they wanted you to apply during our first semester of school. This is like 2.5 months from graduation. I don't know if anybody is still accepting applications. He tells me, listen, Arkansas State University is still accepting applications. He knows because he was close friends with Dr. Aminye, who was the department chair at Arkansas State of the communication department. He said, they're still accepting applications. I think you should look into it. So then I call because it was two other students from Mississippi Valley that were at Arkansas State University in the communications department already. I call my homegirl, Joanna. Joanna tells me, Malcolm, I think you will love it here. Graduate housing, you get your own apartment as graduate housing. You're not living with nobody. You don't have a roommate or nothing. You get your own apartment as graduate housing, and your apartment is not furnished, but it comes with internet and it comes with cable free, and it's right on campus. All of these things was everything I needed. I didn't have a vehicle at the time. And listen, I wasn't trying to pay no rent as a college student. It was coming out of our tuition for us it was room and board, basically staying in the graduate housing. So I'm like, man, this is like everything I need. I need graduate housing somewhere on campus and somewhere where I'm not paying rent, So this is perfect. So then I apply. I remember I came in, I wrote my personal statement that night after Dr. Osunday told me to apply for Arkansas State. I wrote my personal statement. I had my brother Derek Jones look over my personal statement. I think I had Derek look over it. Yeah. And then I had someone else look over it. Then I applied and I got in, basically. I got into Arkansas State University. I get to Arkansas State University in August of 2015. Man, that first semester was crazy, right? Like, so when I was at Arkansas State, I remember the first day I had Introduction to Graduate Studies. Dr. Dr. Fowler was not playing. First of all, I'm thinking the first day of class, we're not going to have actual class. I'm thinking he's going to go over the syllabus. We're going to talk about what's the expectations for the semester and, what to expect in the class and what to expect out of the entire graduate program. No, we have actual class, and he go 20 minutes over. Mind you, I did not eat anything before I got into this class because I'm thinking I can eat when I get out. We're not going to be in here that long. No, we in there that long, right? He explains to me the requirements to get out of the program. Either you're going to write a thesis or you're going to take comprehensive exams. In comprehensive exams, you're going to have 4 questions. You have to answer these 4 questions in essay form. You cannot get any of these questions wrong in order to pass out of the program. So I'm like, man, that's a lot of pressure, right? But I know when I start something, I'm going to finish it. Man, Dr. Fowler, like that whole first semester, y'all, it was so much work, even though you're going to class 1 time a week, and so much research that went into that program. Like, man, I remember when I first started the program, I'm like, man, is this for me for real? Because it was so much work, and I'm a heavy procrastinator. I wait to the last minute for a lot of things. You know what I mean? I wait to the last minute for a lot of stuff. In my graduate program, you couldn't wait. I mean, I waited to the last minute, but you can't do, like, I was writing papers in like when I got my master's, when I got my bachelor's degree, I was writing papers the day before. I'm talking about 12-page papers. Writing was my strong suit. So I was able to do those type of things. But when you're writing like research papers, when you're using real research databases, and you have to really use, like, really scroll through all of these research articles and these Nexus Lexis, all these different databases. You have to really search through this stuff to get what you need to get. You got to scrub these journals and all of that because these are real research journals. I would be in Arkansas State University's library because I couldn't stay in my apartment because I get distracted too easy, looking up all of this different stuff, trying to get my paper done correctly. In Arkansas State, in every graduate class we had, you had to write a 25-page paper minimum. That was 25 page was the minimum, like, amount of pages. That was the minimum amount of pages we could turn in. You know, so I'm up all night writing these papers. I'm putting my best foot forward. It was times where I would wait to the last minute to do my works cited page. That's where you document every place that you got your research from. And I would use this website called easybib.com because we had to cite everything in APA form. And then our works cited page had to be in APA format as well. And Dr. Fowler was not playing. He was making sure we were citing these things to a T. Dr. Fowler, he did research for fun. For fun. People at Arkansas State University, they all did a research project like every year. They did one research project like per year, on top of grading papers. I think per semester, maybe, or maybe per year or per semester, they did their own research project on top of grading papers and teaching us. You know, so these professors were extremely busy, and so was I. And I'm talking about, y'all, one time I did my works cited page because I was a graduate assistant. I had a full graduate assistantship, meaning that I worked for the professors and for the school, and I was getting paid every 2 weeks. I worked in the camera checkout room, and I worked as an assistant to other professors. So I would get certain research articles together for them. I would, put things on flash drives for them. I would go print things out. I would go administer tests and exams whenever they were absent. And I would work in the camera checkout room at 8 in the morning, right? I remember that to this day. Running to go to Chick-fil-A in the student union before I go into the camera checkout room in the morning. That's when I found out that grape jelly on chicken is amazing, because that chicken biscuit from Chick-fil-A was everything for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, so during that time period, it was just like I felt that first semester specifically, it was like a little overwhelming for me. One, because I was not in my typical HBCU environment. So I'm around people I don't know. A lot of the people don't look like me. It's black kids at Arkansas State University, for sure. But, going from an HBCU environment to a PWI is very different. I'm in Arkansas. One, I had fun in Jonesboro, but that was the first time I saw Confederate flags on a regular. Even in Mississippi, in the Mississippi Delta, I didn't see Confederate flags the way I was seeing it in Arkansas, right? But also, man, grad school is a lot more lonely than undergraduate and getting an undergraduate degree. People in the grad program a lot of them were either non-traditional students, meaning that they were older with families. They were older students, or it was international students. But here is where I made some really good friendships and all of that. And this is when I found out the world's opinion of Black Americans. When my international friends told me what their families told them about Black folks and what people in their country thought about Black people. And that's why I made that whole video when I talked about why does the world hate Black Americans or whatever. But anyway, I have a lot of fun in the program, even though I'm stressed out. Like, I remember being so stressed, lonely and stressed out at times, even though I had my homegirl Joanna and my boy Rodney out there with me. It wasn't my everyday clique that I had in undergrad. And so I remember my sisters, they drove out to Arkansas. I had three sisters, but one of my sisters is 2 years older than me, and my sister that's 7 years younger than me. They came out to Arkansas because Arkansas is like a 7 hour, Jonesboro is like a 7 hour drive, 6.5 hour drive from Chicago. They came to come spend the weekend with me, and they played the video game with me because I had just got my PS4. Right? They played Mortal Kombat. My sister was cooking down there for me for the whole weekend. And when they left, y'all, I cried because I was just that. I was stressed out. It just felt real lonely and stuff, right? Then my mom, my daughter, my little brother, my stepfather, they all came for Thanksgiving and cooked me a Thanksgiving dinner and all of that. They came down there to my apartment, and when they left, I cried then just because in that first semester, man, it was just so much going on, man. I was stressed out. I felt like I had something to prove as well because a lot of people feel like kids at HBCUs, they feel like they just be handing us our degrees, which is not true. Like, I was a great student everywhere I went. I graduated from Arkansas State University with a 3.8, graduated from Mississippi Valley with a 3.9. So smart is smart, and I wanted to prove that. I felt like I had to come in and prove that HBCU students could thrive in PWI environments, especially within the graduate programs. So I was doing my due diligence to a high level, right? Not to mention, I became a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi while at Arkansas State University. Shout out to the Theta Mu chapter, the Theta Mu chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. Shout out to them dirty news, man. Yo, right? So they're my brothers, man, for real, for real. That's why I really get down with the Nukes for real there. And then to this day, they still my brothers for real because I couldn't pledge at Mississippi Valley State because my last 2 years trying to become a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi, they didn't have any lines coming through. Freshman year, you cannot pledge. And then sophomore year, I didn't have the money to become a brother. I didn't have the money for the process. And then, like I said, my last 2 years at Mississippi Valley, they didn't have any lines, but they vouched for me to get, to become a brother when I was at Arkansas State University. And I got down there. Shout out to Theta Mu, man. But anyway, while I'm there, I remember doing all these papers and I was like, man, I'm so stressed out. I'm tired. A lot of times I'm staying up, but I'm having fun though. I'm going to the football games. Jonesboro is a college town. So I was able to, we eating at different restaurants and the retail therapy was for real. When I was stressed out, I would go to H&M and go buy me some nice clothes. I was the H&M king. I had all the Chelsea boots, all the little Future hats. Remember the hats Future was wearing during the 2016 run? I had them hats. I still got them. I was getting all different type of shirts and all type of pants and shoes and everything. I'm like, look, if I'm gonna be stressed, I'm gonna look good. Goddamn it, I'm gonna make sure I'm looking fly out here. And yeah, man, I remember my son's mother at the time, and she was really, trying to uplift me. And she wasn't trying; she was uplifting me and uplifting my spirits when I was having stressed out moments. My mother as well, and my father as well, knowing, hey, man, you wouldn't be there if you couldn't do it. You're there because you can do the work. And yeah, I graduated with honors. Like, I graduated with a 3.8. And on graduation day, I felt like this big, and I'm getting around to the best day of my life, but I felt like this triumph for me. I felt elated because, man, doing them papers, I've written 45-page papers in grad school, literally. Some of it was like some works cited pages. Some of it was table of contents. Some of it was some research, but a lot of that was my own words, my own thoughts, without no chat GPT. I didn't even know chat GPT existed. Any of that existed during the time when I got my degree. So I'm writing these. I still have these papers on my laptop. I can show y'all. I'm talking about 47-page papers, 43-page papers, 50-page papers. I'm like going into overdrive to get this degree and to show that I belong and to get something that I felt like was going to set my future up correctly, especially due to the fact that I had a daughter at that time. I had a daughter when I was 18 years old. So I got to do what I got to do to get this degree so that I can provide for my daughter and give me a good job coming out of college, coming out of grad school, you know? So when I graduate, man, all my family come down. At the time, my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, she was still living. She passed away in 2020. I graduated in 2017 from Arkansas State with my master's degree. My grandmother passed away in February of 2020, a month before COVID became a nationwide thing. She was 87 years old. My grandfather, my grandfather through my mom's family, and he passed away, I want to say 2019, October 2019. Now, on my mom's side, he wasn't my biological grandfather, but he was married to my grandmother before I was even born. So it was my grandfather too. You know what I mean? And I still had a relationship with my biological grandfather on my through my maternal family, as well. But he was, again, with my grandmother. He was married to my grandmother before I was born. So he watched me grow up and everything. He was there so excited. He had his big camera out taking pictures and taking pictures of me during my moment. And he was telling me how proud he was of me. And man, it was really an emotional day because I had all my family with me, all my family there to support me and show me love through a time where I felt like, I was stressed. And at times I wondered, could I do it? But I still had that belief in myself that I got here and I'm going to finish it out. But to see them all be together and we all loving each other, and it just felt good. At the time when I first started college, I remember my father telling me that my grandmother, who passed away in 2020, she told my dad that she hoped that she would be alive to see me graduate. And she not only was alive to see me graduate with my bachelor's degree, she was able to see me graduate with my master's. And I'm so proud to say that because my grandmother, she was all about education, and she supported all of us and everything we did. And so I remember she was talking to my professor, Dr. Fowler. They were talking about me and he was talking about how great of a student I was and all of that, even though I was stressed out in his class. And it just felt good. We went out to dinner. I had some sips of wine. Y'all know I don't even drink, but I was sipping some wine that day. We ate a great steak, I think at 501 Steakhouse out there in Jonesboro. Ate some great steak out there. And I hung with the Noops. Shout out to my brothers, man. Shout out to the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi. We kicked it hard because my dean, one that pledged me, he graduated as well. And then one of my other brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi, CJ Charleston Gurley, who y'all saw get interviewed on my channel, he graduated as well. So we all hung out. We went out. We was out, we had a great time. We strolling. We having a ball to celebrate our day, man. And so, but I remember because I took the comprehensive exams to get out of the program. And so that was the test where you have to answer 4 questions in essay form and you can't get any of them wrong. I remember when I got the email saying that I passed my comprehensive exams, and I was so happy, jumping up and down, excited, because I took them comprehensive exams at the same time while I was becoming a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi, right? And so I was, it was just a lot of prioritizing that I had to do in order to get that done. But I remember that day I have, again, my cousins were my little cousins. So they were there to see me go to college, and now they're in college now. My daughter could see me graduate and know the importance of going to school. So that day meant a lot to me. And just to have 2 of my grandparents are deceased. No, 3 of them actually. So, to have them, my grandparents there, 2 of my grandparents that were there are deceased, what I'm saying. And so to have them there at that moment was big for me, and it made me emotional, man. But I was so happy. I was so elated. I mean, we were strolling. Me and my line brothers were strolling after I got my degree. We was kicking it hard, but it was just a great day for me in general, and it's something that I will never forget ever for the rest of my life. So yeah, that was a great moment and a great day for me, y'all. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out, y'all. Peace.